Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Patty. I go by Pattymac Makes everywhere online, and in today's video I'm coming to you from a very different angle. I'm kind of down low and I've got the camera way up high, and that's because we're going to wind up just turning it a touch over to here. And what I'm going to show you today is some of the 16 patch scrappy blocks that I've been working on. At this point, I've got 40 of them done, and I'm gonna go ahead and just package them up. I'm gonna put them away for a little bit. I have other projects that I have to move on to, and I feel like 40 blocks is a lot, and I'm going to just put them away for a bit. I would like to make another 10 and have an even 50. If I have an even 50, it gives me the option of either doing two like large bed quilts, something that would fit a queen size bed, or 3 throw sized quilts, so like 16 total blocks that would make either a great throw quilt or a picnic quilt. And all of this I made from scraps. I just cannot believe I've gotten that much from scraps. And when I did the initial video for you and showed you the containers that I had everything in, well, let me show you where we are with the containers. So I had 2 full ones getting ready to go into 3. So now we have this one, which is still fairly full. It's a lot of smaller cuts though. So if I turn it over, you can see they're smaller than the 4.5 inches. Some of them are little strips. Some of them are just squares that are smaller than 4.5 inches. So what I started doing was cutting them down to 2.5 inch squares. So like that. And basically when I, need something just sort of easy and mindless to do, I can cut 2.5 inch squares and put them in here, and that's kind of what I'm doing. So whatever's in here that I can't utilize for the large blocks, I'm going to trim them down to the 2.5 inches and just put them in here and just whittle that collection down a little bit more. And then when this starts to get kind of full, I'll make something else. I also pulled fabric from my craft cart, so I had like fat quarters or leftover yardage and things like that, and I went ahead and cut some of that down to use in the blocks. But most of it, honest to goodness, came out of those 2 containers, and it made so much I can't believe it. So anyways, for today's video, I'm just going to show you just some of the blocks. We're just going to do a very quick run through. I'm going to reposition the camera so it's over the tabletop here, and you can see what I've got. And they're just fun. They're just really fun. Some of them have been fussy cut, some of them are just cut or whatever. So I'll just kind of show you what's going on. One thing I learned about myself going through this is that I have a lot of bird prints, and I do love birds. I used to do a whole lot of stuff with the bird feeders and everything, but to simplify my life, I got rid of most of that. In fact, yesterday I just put it all out and gave it away. And I retained a couple of items, but for the most part, the bird feeders are gone. I just can't. First of all, it's too expensive. I don't have the money for it anymore. And second of all, I don't have the bandwidth to keep up with it. It's like having another pet, and I can't right now. But the birds live on in my fabrics, and yeah, let me just show you what's going on. So here we are in my tabletop, and what I wound up doing was stacking the blocks in sets of 10, and that just made it an easier way for me to kind of gauge where I was in the process of sewing. And I'm going to tell you, these are not perfect blocks. I get comments from people who they get very hung up on cutting into their fabrics. They're afraid they're going to mess up something. They get upset with like their measurements being off a little bit, so maybe their blocks are a little small. And I just want to encourage you to put all of those feelings to the side and just cut into your stuff and do it anyway. I have said this before, quilting is not a spectator sport, and you're not going to learn what you need to learn and build your technique just watching videos. You have to physically get in there and do it, and you're going to mess up some stuff, and that's okay. It is what it is. Don't beat yourself up. Like, I'll be honest with you, some of my blocks are small. I just, did this as like just fun, mindless sewing, and so my seam allowances are not perfect. But you know what? I'm okay about that because I can just ease everything in and it's going to be fine. So don't be afraid to cut your fabrics. Don't be afraid to use your stuff. And if you feel really off about it, just get into a scrap bin. That's what all of this is. These were just leftovers anyway. So anyhow, that's my words of encouragement for you today. Just cut the fabric, enjoy it, and use it. So as we're looking here, this was a fussy cut, obviously. And I made kitchen curtains from this fabric. And, I'm not sure where those valances are. I'm looking for them now because I kind of want to put them back up. So I'll have to see if I can locate all of that. But there's the bird. And then this one of a turkey also was a fussy cut. And I'm just going to flip through and just kind of let you see the blocks. Fussy cut, fussy cut. One thing I did was when I had like a, directional prints like the stripe or the star, what I would do within a block is to make sure that within the block they were going the same way. But mostly I had no like heavy duty rules at all. I did try, like working in the 4 patches, like I would try to make, kind of a cohesive look to the 4 patch and then put them together. But I didn't stress out about it. This obviously is a fussy cut. And these are like mixtures of fabrics. So it's a lot of Joanne stuff. It's these were charm packs that were sent to me from Creative Notions. This is an old Boundless print that I had. And a whole ton of Joanne. And I gotta say, it's the Joanne fabric was really quite nice, and I'm just so sad at the direction that's taking. Anyway, here's more. There's Harry. Beautiful Harry. Let's see. So, like I tried to make sure that the colors like sort of worked. So like I thought the orange next to this looked good, and then I balanced it with a little blue, and then here's a little bit of a pink, and here's a little more orange. Just a little thought to the color placement. This blue next to this yellow, which has a little touch of blue. I thought the grays were nice. It just balanced it out. So I didn't spend hours on figuring out where I wanted to put things, but I gave it a little bit of thought. And of course the stars next to Harry and Ron, I thought that was really fun. And this is a mixture. This is mostly Ruby Star, but there's also some Joanne in here. And there we go. And that's that set of 10 blocks. Let me put them back together, and I'll show you one more pile. We'll just do 2 piles of these today. I want you to kind of just see what's possible with your scraps. And so when you're within a section of stuff, it might look a little bit repetitive because I would cut several squares, like from the Harry Potter fabric. I cut several squares, and then I just kept using those until they were used up. So when it comes time to do, I'm probably going to do them as throw quilts if I'm being honest. I will make sure to pull from different piles so it's not like an overload of one design. All right, let me go get another pile to show you. Okay, this is the last pile that I just finished working through, and it's less than perfect because I did these over the course of the last couple of weeks, which have been more stressful than you can possibly imagine, but we're through it. We're getting through it. And I just noticed I actually sewed that with the wrong side to the front. So that was my mental state. So that's okay. We're going to let it go. Anyhow, these are the less than stellar constructed blocks. They're a little bit small. They have some issues, like all of my seams don't line up as well. But you know what? That's okay because I use the fabric and I can still ease these in with other blocks. It'll be fine. But I mean, for all of their imperfections, I still think it's really, really fun. Super fun. This one, so I got a little off, so like these stripes are in this way, this is going that way, but you know, that's kind of been my mental state. I will tell you, things are improving, things are getting better, and I'm very hopeful. So I know that many of you are praying for us out there. I want you to know that we gratefully receive all of your prayers, and I 100%, 110% believe they are helping. And I want you to know how much I appreciate that. So thank you. Yeah, these are just so much fun. So it's florals and it's stripes. And I will tell you, like polka dots are a fabulous background fabric. If you are like in Joann and they have a really good sale on stuff and you want to take advantage of it and you're not sure what to get, let me just say getting things in polka dots, like multiple colors, like get something from every range of your color wheel if you can. Polka dots, and this with the little crosses, excellent for making just about anything because they just mix and match so well. More birds, Harry Potter, birds. I have a lot more bird fabric than I thought. And then here we go. So that was everything out of that pile. And so that was 20 blocks. And as I said, I've got 40 completed. I'm going to wind up just folding these up. I'm going to slip them into a 2-gallon Ziploc bag and just tuck it away in a bus box for something to pick up later. Maybe this would be a summer project. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with them. I also had the thought that I could maybe sew them together and do scrappy curtains to go out here in my living room area. So that's a possibility too. I don't know. I'm not sure. It might be cute to have them as curtains, and I do want curtains out here. I need them because there's nothing on my windows at all right now. With all of the uncertainty, it's like I haven't wanted to commit to any sort of curtains or home decor or whatever, because you know it was touch and go. But I have to just say, I'll just say this: Mom is very determined, and she's not giving up, and I'm not giving up on her either. And we're gonna do our best to keep moving forward. So that's where we are. And for now, I'm going to put these away. I just thought you might enjoy a little check-in just to kind of see what I've completed and where I am. And I still want to encourage you to do this project. If you're swimming in scraps, it's a really fun project. And even the ones that are less than perfect, like this one. This one is not perfect because I put the wrong side to the front. And you know what? I still think it's fine, because when this is embedded in a full project, you know, the larger overall fabric, what the heck? I think it's going to be fine. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And that's what I have for you in this video. And I want you to know that I appreciate you watching and being here. And I will see you around YouTube. And until then, happy sewing and happy quilting, my friends. Never ever give up. There's always light around the next corner.